It is 9:05 here on the East Coast, and we are starting our live. I'm your host, Vision. Welcome in. It's good to have you. Good to have you all.
I like your picture, by the way. Nice picture.
Thank you. So we are looking at current events, always. And that which is unseen, that's perhaps happening in the background, that many of us are aware of and don't often get to bring to light.
Ooh, spicy. I like where you're going with this.
It is 2024. Number 8 is among us.
Yeah, the energy is definitely ramping up just a bit.
As we learn to adapt to the energies, as you have mentioned, Vinny, it brings another sense of awareness to us all the time. It doesn't stop. It won't stop. It can't stop. And we are learning every day about ourselves, about each other, but mostly how to unite and how not to unite. Taking what serves us and using it to the advantage of everyone, not only ourselves. So that which is unseen, this can go into many different realms, possibilities. It is endless. But we are needing to know where we are. And knowing that where we are will give us a foundation to stand on. Really a stable sense of security that we don't have to necessarily share with the world. Just be in the world, not of it. It's all coming back around again. Welcome, Ezra. Thank you. So we will just begin the discussion with what has become unseen. What is something, and I'm thinking out loud, something that has recently unveiled itself to you, in a sense. Before we get into the past, let's look at where we are now. Thank you. I'll pass the mic to my love, Ash, if you wouldn't mind.
Sure. So for me, I had a lot of premonition and prophecy hit me a couple years back, and some of it didn't necessarily, there was actually a big chunk of it that didn't really make sense at that time, that now in recent events, in recent circumstances, are unfolding and are making them make sense. So, a really in my face example of that was the two basically asteroids that the one's passing on the 28th, so let's see, let me get my days right. Anyway, point is that they're passed back to back kind of thing, and the second one is called a sun grazer, so it's a little broken up because it's actually left over from a bigger asteroid that actually did graze the sun. And those two were part of my prophecy that I received back then, and they've recently come up and are happening in current events and affairs. So that one, to start us off, would be pretty recent. Yeah.
I like how you mentioned the astral minds. These events that are happening within are definitely happening out. Yes, the outer skies, the cosmos. Things are always moving and getting closer. Thank you. Chris, if you wouldn't mind to follow through with the thoughts.
What was the question? Or was it just talking about the recent energy of the unseen?
You can take it wherever you like, whatever you are.
Okay, thank you.
Looking for.
So what do you
something that's
basically,
recently been.
yeah, to sum it into a short question, something that's recently come to the surface that had remained unseen until recent times.
Okay. I mean, honestly, that's always happening for myself on a personal level, but I think we do know that we've had a lot of recent shifts, but a lot of us are aware of that just from information that we receive, whether it's downloads and or information from the community. We're allowed to prepare ourselves. So we don't have any fear-driven incidents. But when these collective things happen, when it comes to the unseen or the unknown, for that matter, a lot of people drive to fear because of it. We like to know the cause and effect to primarily everything. And when we have these little gaps of information that are in the subconscious mind, it tries to fill in those gaps. Whether it's doing it with its imagination and or doing it through research or experience. So I think that unseen itself can drive a lot of fear, but preparation is key. Adaptation, that's a big part of preparation. So being aware of your surroundings, even as a collective, helps prepare for times to come and how to adapt, and maybe things that all these practices that are talked about get utilized more often in certain circumstances that may need to be done. But yeah, there's so much unseen out there, even within ourselves, that it's amazing also because there's so much to explore still. And that's what I love to do, is explore. I like the hunt, the treasure hunt of information, but also experience. And so it's always been kind of my drive, which fits some of my charts, which is cool. But yeah, I'll end it there, and we'll get a lot further deep into it. Love you guys.
Thank you, Chris. It is always with lovely art. Adored. Yes, it's a difficult subject, and this is me. Hello and welcome to the Spiritual Talk 69 show. It is Sunday evening, just after 9 o'clock on the East Coast. What time is it where you are?
Oh, thanks for having me. Sounds like you're juggling the mic there a little bit. I'm going to go at this a little bit differently. So for me, when we talk about the unseen, for me, my experience with the unseen was a little different, all right? So a lot of the things that I thought everybody was aware of, I learned now in my journey that I was the only one that was aware of, and that's why it was driving me crazy because I was like, why isn't everybody seeing this? No, because they're not all meant to see it. You're meant to see it, not them. That's why they don't get it. So that's one of the realizations that I've gotten along this journey, and more recently is I've been working towards something, and the unseen is that energy behind what I've been working for. I can't see it, but I can definitely feel it, and I know it's here, and I know it's coming. I know that something is going to change real soon, and I'm going to be right where I need to be. So that's another thing. And then when we talk about the other unseen, let's talk about when we talk about current events, right? There's a lot of unseen things that are driving things and creating these narratives and these things that are made to make us feel a certain way, right? They want to make us feel scared. They want to make us feel, lost and alone. But that's not the truth, right? So that's the unseen that's going on all over the world right now. Is that fear-driven narrative that we're experiencing. But as us in the spiritual community and us as people who are just connected, right? We get these downloads, so we know what's coming, right? I know a lot of the unseen that is happening that they're not talking about. I get downloads about that all the time. I don't share with anybody, but I know it's going to happen so that this way when things are happening, it's not a big surprise to me. I'm not shocked. I'm just, okay, yep. Yeah, I saw that one coming, so kind of prepares you, like Chris was saying, so you don't have that fear. Gives you that peace so you can walk around in any storm and still smell the roses and make sure you experience the beauty all around you, even though there's fire everywhere. So that's kind of what I kind of, I guess I'll land my plane there with the unseen then.
Thank you, Vinny. I appreciate the excitement and the awareness that you have. Appreciate that. Thank you. There's many things happening in this world that just wasn't talked about, or perhaps we already know talking isn't going to change anything. Welcome in, Azrael, brother.
Hey, good evening, Innovision. I was actually looking for the video to understand what the topic was going to be, but I guess we're talking about the unseen things that we should put focus to, or it's just happening and nobody is aware of, where the majority is not aware of.
Yes, that was a very clear point that you brought up, that the topic was also unseen on the video. Thank you. Go ahead if you wouldn't mind to add.
Unseen. All right. Yeah, because I sense a lot of things been going on for quite a while now, and everybody can feel it. Everybody can feel it, and it's becoming more and more of a synchronicity that we're all feeling something. What it is, we don't know, but it's definitely happening a little bit faster than we expect. And the thing about it, with all the global events, everything that's happening overseas, the stuff that's happening here with the political situation. Um, the storm that hit the golf course down there in those areas, down there where everybody got flooded, and a lot of individuals are missing to individuals that are youngins that are nowhere to be accounted for. There's so many things happening right now, and when I, or anybody, works in the process of spirituality, and we're also open to these gifts that we're given, we could foresee many things. I recall last year, I think it was I think it was April or March. I think Crystal Chris remembers where um, we were talking about these rainbows in the skies, and everybody was laughing at us. We had a discussion for quite a while. You know what? There's rainbows up in the sky that shouldn't be there, and everybody was like breaking us down and like, you guys are liars, making it up, and we're showing pictures. Now more and more it's evident. Anytime that you walk outside where the sun is shining, you can look at the sky and the sign's there, and it's been there for a long time. And I know there's signs going on for a long time, and in many situations where something big, and it's like a big divide in individuals, whether I don't want to call it believers and non-believers, but it's a level of understanding that we are capable of being in control of the outcome, and others are believing that we're not in control of the outcome and allowing nonsense to constantly occur, little triggers, little things that become nudges and pushing one and another to the tip of chaotic, circumstances where the karmic patterns are showing up on a repetitive, on a day-to-day basis. And, it's the change of auras in the world. We are in a moment right now when you really look at it, and you can just look at it, and you could feel like you can actually crumble it all like a piece of paper. If that makes any sense to you guys. We look at the world, and you can grab your both hands and just crumble it and restart. And I think that's what's happening. There's a big restart that's happening. But as big as it is, I do not know. As small, I do not know. I just know there's a big shift going on. And I know it's there, and how do we convince individuals? It's just being authentic and accepting what happens. It's happening for a reason, and try not to control the outcome, but be mindful that things happen for reasons, and allow ourselves to actually accept if it's something divine. We can't control it, just accept it, and not be scared. Because I think, with everything that's happening unseen, we tend to become shy, scared, and intimidated by the fact, you know what, I don't want to live my life in fear. So don't live in fear. Actually live your life to the fullest, and take every moment to your advantage, and actually be mindful of the situation that you have an opportunity in the current state to deal with your happiness versus anything that's unseen that can be a threat. But the only threat is the threat that you acknowledge. So if you can actually accept and say, you know what, it's for the greater cause of humanity, and allow ourselves to be guided by the divine, I think, we can actually live life a lot more happier. And stuff that's happening with the politics and these wars that are going on depending on grudges that got nothing to do with the current state of situation, you know, we can actually live to the fullest, and be able to elevate other individuals that need to be shown a way of there's positivity in all the negative thoughts that we find ourselves in on a day-to-day basis. We are influenced by all these knuckleheads and all these people for survival and so forth. But in actuality, if we just gave a hand to one another and understood one another, there wouldn't be no point of survival. It would be us actually striving to be the best that we can as humanity. And I hope I'm on topic. I don't know if I'm off topic.
You're on topic, brother. Thank you. I love the expansion you put on that, and the awareness that you are being held in.
I
Interesting.
appreciate you. Thank you.
Now, the unseen is also a force, isn't it? It is a force. Sometimes they are called the unseen ones, or the unseen knowledge that is being experienced and expressed across the planet by these principles, these forms that are migrating over inside and out of our awareness. It's been said that God has a plan. And I would agree. We are often encouraged and reinforced in our own way of understanding. And many times even this goes unseen or not shared. For in that moment we understand our responsibility to ourselves, and knowing that we are just one. We are all one. Good to know that which is unseen, is always here. Thank you. Perhaps an expansion of the season we are in as it pertains to what is happening or affecting us is in order to be brought to light. Know that this is a creation that was away, and we are all practicing.
My love, it's really hard to hear you because of whatever the vibration is. It's like a fan motor or something.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Okay, nope. I had my phone sitting on my computer.
Yep, that's exactly what it was. Yeah, okay, perfect, thank you.
So yes, an expansion of the awareness that we are all experiencing throughout the unseen forces of the world with and without us. Is there something that would change your mind? Not necessarily in opposition, but in accordance with or in alignment with. If there would be an expansion on this, it's the thought. Love.
So are you saying, is there something... Let me follow what you're saying here. Is there something that I would change currently?
I do not see it as a challenge. Okay, this is not. It's only a practice of awareness of cause that is in alignment with you or not. It's an idea of sorts. If you wouldn't mind.
Okay, so can I pass it to Chris and get an example first? I'm confused. I'm sorry.
Are you talking about a way to in line with the shifts that are happening? Like, for me, it's self-care. Like, that's what I've had to adjust to. Has a lot more self-care, and which is, I try to take advantage of my family time as well. That's a part of my self-care. But I've found myself recently, within the past 6 weeks to a month, meditating much more often, where it's been more difficult to keep myself balanced in comparison to, let's say, like springtime and that time, as far as this year. And as far as the season goes, the energy shifts within the season, and we have to really adjust to that, align to it. And it takes lots. There's all types of different practices that can be done. It doesn't have to be meditation. That's just something that works for me. There's a lot of people that have a very difficult time with meditation. So there's other ways to let your mind free, and that could be just getting into music, as far as listening to your favorite song and just flowing within that song and feeling the emotions and being with it, and just those little things that create those endorphins to create that balance that you need. So, but I don't know if I'm on track or not, but that's what I got.
Hey, as smooth as ever, brother. Thank you. It is a sense of creation that we are collaborating here tonight. And this is perhaps what I'm enlightened to this time. Vinny, perhaps an expansion of these energies that are affecting us all and how you are aligning to them. Or is it the same as yesterday?
Oh, no, it's never the same as yesterday because every day is a new challenge, right? Every day we grow, right? Every day we expand, so every day is a new challenge. So I'll go back to expand on the unseen, right? So what are we talking about, right? Ultimately, what we're talking about is the unseen, right? And that's the war that we didn't know we were a part of, but we were all signed up for, right? Whether we realized it or not. That's the war for our consciousness. That's why if you turn on the news, it's always negative, right? They don't have positive stories because they want to make you feel away, right? That's why if you turn, we have all these things that are, like work and all these things that are made to make you do and feel and act a certain way because it's a war for our consciousness because they want us to feel a certain way so that they can control the energy and the narrative, right? So, I mean, if you look at the current news cycle, you can see what they're trying to do, right? That's why I don't watch news and that's why I try to stay away from TV. That's one of the ways that I myself am able to, keep that energy at bay, right? Because that energy is strong and overpowering if you don't give it the respect that it needs, right? But like Chris was saying, yeah, like music's a big part. Like me, I walk to work, and when I walk to work, I have headphones. Sometimes I'll put on music. If I have a lot of things going on in my head and I just need to clear my head, I'll put on something that I can sing to, and I'll just walk down the road singing to myself or dancing to myself. Why? Because that helps move that energy, because it's all energy, and as you move the energy through your body, you are able to rise above it, i.e., walk on water, right? Whereas there's all this chaos all around you, but you're above it. You're not in it. And that's kind of what we're doing here right now. We're trying to rise above so that we don't let the chaos and the fear consume us and control how we think and how our experience through this life is. I hope that answers that question.
Yeah, that's one of the questions that we'll probably never really truly have an answer about. In any case, I wanted to welcome in Awaken. Wonderful name, we all are. Welcome. Good to have you. We share our panel with those that follow us and would give us time to know who they are. I know it's difficult. Perhaps you can sum it up as a challenge. Azriel, welcome in again, brother.
I'm enjoying the holiday music. I don't know if you noticed in the background. It's like the Nightmare Before Christmas. Yeah, I totally agree with what's being spoken. We need to be mindful and aware that what's going on in the background is not a threat to us, or wouldn't engage with our positivity if we keep that awareness and recognize where this negativity might be coming from, and allowing ourselves to set boundaries on scenarios where it could be a place, it could be an organization, a group of individuals, or such, where limiting ourselves through the influence of it, whether it's mainstream television or such, we can actually utilize tools, whether it's positive affirmations on a day-to-day basis, where we can counteract any negativity that can be orchestrating something against us. because it's kind of a tough topic to really put the finger on what it is, because it could be organization, it could be even entities, it could be something out of extra dimension, it could be something out of body that it's not within our realms, and it's not something that we can see, but the influence of anything else is that energy, that vibration. We can sense the energy, just like the sun transmit positive rays and also EMPs, which are disturbance and energy. Individuals can sense energy all around us, whether it's coming from an animal, if we feel threatened by a specific animal, or even another human being, and I hate to separate animal and human beings, because in two aspects we are all animals. It's just that we're able to communicate in a form where we are a little bit more or higher involved in the situation and the circumstance, because unlike many other species, the human species is able to discern, able to imagine, able to create that we want, or expect or see. But it takes practice, it takes dedication, it takes exercises. And I'm not talking about the physical exercise, I'm talking about the mental exercise, where we can actually look within ourselves, self-reflect, and understand who we are, what serves us right, what is not for us. And actually, after we make those assessments of who we are, and what is our higher purpose, then we can navigate through any negativity by keeping a balanced state of mind, a balanced state of reality, and knowing that anything and all really starts within. So anything externally that's out there, of a force that it's not ours, we can actually put these boundaries to limit its contact with us, any interference with us, or any situation where we feel it might cause us harm or distract us. And respectfully, we can actually appreciate who we are as in the individual. As co-creators, we're able to manifest our way out of a situation, which we can see it could be negative in many, many forms. How they say, if you acknowledge the poison, I don't even know where I'm getting this from. Trust me, where if you acknowledge the poison and actually do not put it away. In other words, dispose of it, and others see it, would you stop them from touching that? So, it's our duty as the individuals to see things that are happening out there. Whether we report it or bring it to attention is through our awareness and mindfulness, to share to the community, share to those that we love, and share to each one of us. Is our responsibility. Even though we might not be part of the main factor and the effect that it's creating, our acknowledgement is the key. We are the perspective that the other ones need. We're not a full circle if we disengage ourselves from the collective. So that one point of me being selfish and not sharing wisdom that needed to be shared amongst the community is the point that I allow my ego to actually not be considerate of the awareness and the mindfulness of the community. And I hope that makes sense. I'm gonna it's complex.
Yo, Ezreal, well said, well said. I appreciate you. Man, that's right. Being selfish is not necessarily the way to go, the way to be. Thank you, Ezreal.
Would it be selfish to ask to go ahead and take my turn now?
It wouldn't. Thank you for jumping in back in line. We'll jump down to Vicky in just a sec. Welcome in, Vicky, and Sauce's Vessel. Y'all know who you are, brother. Come on back.
So, in retrospect of hearing the replies, I can better understand what you're asking there. I would say one of the big ones that I'm facing moment by moment at this point is actually expressing when I'm expressing a feeling actually expressing that feeling instead of just saying it the way I've always heard it said. Because I've noticed that there's so much more when you actually express in words what you're actually feeling than when you just say it the way you were taught to say it. So that one's a pretty big one for me. And it's also the transitional into calling an awakening and awareness where I know I can't hermit myself away with books and trinkets. I'm being reminded that I do have a active role in existence, and part of that is being active in existence. So, yeah, that's another one for me on that.
Thank you for that. I hope that you are not sitting in regret in any way, shape, or form. Vicky, welcome in, sister. The floor is yours.
Hi, it's okay. I don't even know what I was just popped into. I just popped in, but what like you've just said and stuff is I sometimes do feel a little bit rude within within my interaction towards people, and I appreciate everyone, you know, all the knowledge and everything I get. But there's sometimes where I do, my anxiety like overpowers me, and I kind of see that as I see that as a sign that sometimes I'm not ready to speak certain things, or my ability to be able to speak so clearly and put out what I actually want to say. Sometimes I get when I go into a certain thing and I get a bit panicked. My words don't actually represent the actual words that I want to say. Sorry if I'm just mumbling on. I actually don't even know what the subject is. I'm so sorry. Well, hello.
Greetings, Awaken. Please mute your mic. We'll come back to you. So this is best of one moment. Vicky, you're fine. What you just shared was brilliant. Brilliantly you. Appreciate you always. The subject is that which is unseen or otherwise not talked about.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining. Please stick around.
Yeah, thank you. And I just like to end on this as well is I have realised a lot of things that come up. Wow, I want to like Jackie Chan loads of people. I mean, like, you get me? So sometimes I have to pull myself back and understand that. I've got to wake upon myself in a lot of things, because a lot of things feel like, I'm so sorry, that music is doing my head in a little bit. I'm so sorry.
Thank you, Vicky. We're going to go ahead and go to the next speaker if you don't mind muting your mic. Your
yes, that's fine.
feistiness is always appreciated in this community. Sources Vessel, the floor is open.
Hi everybody, how y'all doing? Hope it was it's good to see everyone. This is excited. Like, yeah, I've been so giddy. But how's everyone doing? I'm going to stop for a moment and really actually pause for a second. But I do really hope everyone's doing well. But I do want to. Hi, Fire Ash.
Hey, P, much love. We're glad to have you, brother.
Thank you. Listen, I've been wanting to come over here for so long, and I've been so this Scorpio energy, this Pluto energy, whatever you want to call it, is transforming energy right now. I've been doing it all year, but I've been doing it more so where I'm trying to get myself together and where I can gather that more. Like there's nothing to fear, just like everybody else. But I just never really looked at it like that. You guys are extraordinary. You guys, your minds, your hearts, your consciousness. And so like I had to get myself in a better position of thinking and feeling. But I do and I'm so grateful for being able to be around blessed beings and people of such knowledge and stature and understanding in the world where I'm able to, yes, I know who I am and what I am, but it's still all the more the teacher student or student teacher. No, I was gonna say, yeah. See, or I get more words mixed up, but like it's not even that big. But you guys are still awesome to me. You guys are all very amazing people. So I do appreciate y'all being able to allow me around and allow me, being being able to learn with y'all and learn and talk with y'all in the aspects in the environments that I be trying to show up in and be around y'all with to understand more and gather more under growth and maturity. And so I do want to say that's my as an intro. Thank y'all for being who you are. And much love and love all you all. Love you all from my heart because you guys are really awesome.
Love you, dude.
D, thank you for that. So remembering how far we've come, or recognizing how far we've come, allows us to remember who we are. Yes, you're always welcome, brother. And it is also with gratitude that you allow me to be a part of your experience. Welcome in, Brother Eddie. Yo, back at it.
Here we are again. Let me check the time. Still right now. How you doing, Azrael?
I'm doing awesome.
Hi,
I'm doing
Darius.
awesome.
Hi,
Thank you.
Fire Ash. Hi, Chris. Vinny. Vicky.
Hi, Eddie.
Hi, Darius. You look great in your lives, man. Get all shredded up. You look healthy. You look engaged in life. Happy for you. The move was a big change for you, and that's great. It works.
Thank
Change,
you.
event choose change, right? Yeah.
Yes,
Truth
yes,
is,
yes.
change in choices and observations are things we keep talking about, which for our future, I think, involves some greater observations and some greater changes and some greater choices. And some choices get harder and harder. And, they will get easier. The choice that is the one to make is going to be more intuitively inclined, right, to trust ourselves and get that message clearly affected. But it's probably going to be like, ooh, I actually have to make that choice. That's going to, wow, it's the breaking point. Like we thought we cracked to let the light in. I'm pretty sure we're going to have to, it's all going to be we'll take all the Legos apart to put it all back together, but it's just a lot of time, there's a lot of energy, so I'd like to take a little time to relax into myself and just feel the energy in the room. And I really appreciate the space. It feels really good.
Thank you, Eddie. Yo. But yes, I know you are on your own there, but you are with us also here. Appreciate you, brother. Let me go to the new man on the scene.
Thank you.
Please identify, awaken.
That's
Hi.
Chris up there. Hey, Crystal Chris. I don't know how I didn't see that. Hey, I think it's hey, Israel. Oh my gosh, my damn blind ass. Yeah, listen, I swear to God, lately I've been in so much happy energy and I be looking all over the place. I be staring at the screen all the time. I swear to God, I'm so sorry. Hey, what is that, brother?
Thank you, Darius. I appreciate you and your energy, always.
Thank you.
I'm your host
Okay,
in the vision, and I'm coming back to welcome Awaken to the panel. And if you would add your energy to the room.
Hi, you hear me?
Yeah, you sound
Yes,
good.
loud and clear.
First of all, peace, love, light, healing to everyone. and I just see a live and I jump in because I feel more connected with this life. Like I am also a spiritual person, and from the last few years I am on my spiritual journey, having new experiences, learning the life, watching what's going around us and how the higher people's controlling human beings, misinformation, everything. So I'm trying to connect with more and more people who are on this journey so that we can grow together.
Awaken, brothers and sisters, an epitome of that which is unseen. We called it. Welcome in. I understand your travels have been long, distant, and far between, and there aren't a lot of people around us every day that would allow us to be us. Those people, as you are aware of in the panel here, are very well known to each other in ways that we'll never begin to imagine. Is there anything else that you would seek guidance in at this time before we come back around? And I would invite you to stay right where you are. We'll be online for at least another hour.
Wait, we're only here for an hour? Because that's the unseen energy, I guess, and shut up. Sorry, newbie to the room.
So, we actually started an hour ago. We run typically for those that are new.
I was looking for y'all.
D, mute your mic. Come on, man.
Oh, shit.
You're not that new. Get with the program. For those that are new, for those who don't know, we do this every Sunday evening. We start at 8 p.m. Central Standard, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. We run anywhere from 2 to 3 hours, give or take on what we have going on the next day, kind of thing. So we do appreciate having a full house tonight. Love the new faces. Love to hear from you guys. And we appreciate the host. I will turn it back over to him. Real quick though, I did want to ask, my love, if you could kill the music at this point. There's a couple that they have a feedback from the music when they mic up, and that would just kind of help the sound quality for everyone else.
I have stepped outside. Here there are many.
There are many fans or crickets, one of the two. Thank you, Vicky. Appreciate that. Just keeping it crystal clear. Welcome in, Zedaya, Eden. So, well, if you have a lot of fans, you won't hear the crickets. Yeah, that's true, Finny. So while we are waiting for the host, I would like to just kind of give everybody an idea of how we do it here. Is we have a host and panelists. We go through, ask a question, and then we take turns going through the panel answering the question. Pretty straightforward. There are opportunities, natural flows where you'll be invited to speak, and please do so. This is what we call a spiritual roundtable discussion. We're all equals here, members of this community, young, old, doesn't matter. You know, that's the beauty of this community. Is everyone purging right now? In some ways, I would say, yeah, most definitely. My love, are you ready to take back over yet? Sometimes myself, Vinny. Sometimes myself is who I'm calling old.
Yeah, we know. I'm the one that's got the gray hair.
You're as young as you feel.
Yeah.
Thank you for your patience, everyone. You're hosting a vision. There are among us unseen realities that are just right next door. Perhaps something of a personal nature that we are affected by without the knowledge of anyone else can be shared. Fire.
So, in that essence, I'll go to one of my recent channels where, honestly, my vision was telescoped through the different realities past the illusion barriers, and I was sacred witnessing a event where I would call it the crystalline Sophia, so the divine feminine aspect of the divine was activating a soul group, which she called the petals of a rose. There were 5 in total that acted as her hand in either it's the scales of justice kind of thing, like how you perceive it is how you receive it, I guess, is what I would say, really, for that energy. And actually experienced seeing that activation go out into the collective. It was pretty interesting for me to watch with my eyes wide open, and it was extremely hard to pull back from, even with sight being one of my top gifts. It was hard for me to actually pull my regular sight back here because it was more natural feeling for me to be there than it was here.
Interesting. Thank you. Appreciate that perspective as we receive it. As we all receive it. Chris, there are many overlapping realities that sometimes go without notice or even perhaps taken for granted. Have you experienced anything personally that no one else would be aware of?
It's hard for me to say if nobody else has been aware of the things that I've experienced, but I can say that in a direct surrounding, like in people that surround me, for instance, in my household, just being sensitive to energy, I've experienced things. Sometimes I can pinpoint what it is, sometimes I can't. So, something that's affected me recently, though, that I can consider an energy shift of myself is I have been a strong communicator. I can consider an energy shift of myself is I have been a strong communicator of
Wow, thank you. That was not meant to happen. Chris, my bad. There was a plug that was unplugged.
I was wondering what happened. I thought it was on my end. Because I've been having an echo throughout the night, so I just assumed it was me.
No, it was a computer.
Yeah, I thought it was me only. I was like, what the F did I do?
I did. It only is me.
Get everyone back up here. My apologies. A plug came unplugged. It was my foot, and of course, these things happen.
Foot and mouth.
The rotation got rotated, and
What happened?
it was my foot. To tell you the truth.
That's fine. We'll just do the new rotation, babe. Okay, Eddie. Thanks for being up here with us, man.
Love you, Eddie. So what I was saying is like it's kind of a lack of an energy shift that has been kind of affecting me. And one is I used to have a strong connection with my mother. As far as I still do, but I used to have a strong communication, and I haven't had that in probably 2 months. Something that I don't know, I lost, I guess, but it's affected me. It's something that I've had to adapt to, and recently I've found the positive aspects of it. So, it's been something that I've been doing shadow work on myself to get through that. And so all the other shifts, they've just been piling on top of a root situation that I've already been working on.
I'm not understanding why everybody is serious. I'm sorry. Is it my? Can I speak? When is my turn? When is it my turn? I want to talk. If y'all don't mind, please let me know.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you all for adapting to what happened. Darius, I would ask you to state your piece. The floor is yours. We'll come back around to Vicky when you're done.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you all. My brother, there is so much that's happening right now. As you just stated, that is literally how just almost everyone feels. And the beautiful part about it, when we have to find one focus point. Or we can find that one focus point and that one thing that we truly matters and that we truly love unconditionally, as we learn to love everything else without conditions. And you will truly find yourself. I promise. All it takes is just that leap of faith over there. Like, you gotta find what it is you love doing that you find yourself doing infinitely. And then not sex, not intimacy, not knocking on doors, not being if you it does involve doing all that, being people's faces, or where you gotta talk to people face to face, or if you find yourself where you like just building things, making things, creating things. If you even find yourself just in the place of where you feel like you have to nudge someone in a bad way to do something good, there's bad and good. It's all one and the same. We find a balance with life. We all have a place to impart to feel within this world. So we celebrate all the moments and all the growth. Because think about it. If it doesn't feel good for you, then it's a bad experience. Why? Because it's the you. The I. Or in the way the I, the A, the I am, if you want to put it in the I am aspect, it's more so of the you. You don't want to be the I on the construct of your own destruction. You want to be in that more so of the you, the you are, like the you want to be the part. You want to be the my part. Like, you want justice, vindication. You don't want that all the time, but you need it. You want vindication. You want to be vindicated on what you speak on, stand on, and it will come forward as it should. It will and should. But we have to be in the focus and compass. We have to be in the focus of our mind, in the focus of our hearts, with the unconditional love. And so when it comes forth, and when we know and direct with discernment, as this is a high time for discernment, all things are coming together, and it's going to gather in the right place in the right time. This is a time of celebrations. This time everybody break out the wine bottles, the liquor bottles. This is a time when you go and celebrate and rejoice for all your hard work and fruits and efforts of everything you've done to keep everything from being where it could have been to where it should go and where it's going. Time to be feeling blessed. Time to feeling elated for those who put in the hard work and efforts, and those who know who they are and done what they're doing, and not stuck in cycles and running through the same karmic cycles. Because who you are is a reflection of the people that surround you. So are the people around you a reflection of you, or are you a reflection of them? So the time to rise and be even more elated and standing even more higher, or even more detached and being even more growing. Not saying we ignore our life. Reality is reality. We're set in stone, set in stone. So don't twist the words up, and don't feel like it's saying like, just abandon your children, abandon your wife, everybody go through this. No, listen, you unconditional love, you give, you detach in the moment. Detach and move in the moment. Detach and move in the thoughts. Detach and move in the emotions. And you will find more growth, and you will find more growth and more understanding. This not everything needs to be done in the way it needs to be done. There's a better way. Always creative and solution based. So let's always look to the higher happiness, the higher glory of rapture, of understanding and peace and clarity and truth. So thank you all for my time talking. I appreciate you.
Your words are well received, artists. Thank you. We have all come so far in our understanding of the universe and how it affects us individually and collaboratively. Welcome, Vicky, sister. The floor is yours. Please take us to an expansion of a reality that remains unseen.
See, what I believe is what's the unseen is our hearts, our emotions, and everything, and our thoughts. So lately, what I've realized is that, wow, our thoughts are so important, and I know that word control is not meant to be, but to put our thoughts and to save the negativity that's coming out, we have to first of all wake upon ourselves, right, and understand that we are so much more special than is led to believe, and our thought pattern is led by the things we watch, the things we hear, the bad stuff. That is what's manifesting or bringing on bad is we have to control our mindset, our thoughts, but we also have to understand that a lot of people now are using forgive us for our trespasses, forgive us. So people are taking this forgiveness into a way that they feel that they can do anything they like, but yet as long as we admit to it and we forgive ourselves, and that's what I think is sending this world a bit crazy, because about a year ago everyone said, Vic, stop thinking so negative about yourself, love yourself, do this. If I would have just done that, I wouldn't have worked upon some things I needed to work upon. Now I work upon things within my mind, and then I can say, wow, Vic, I love you for that. And then I can love myself for the things that I understand that are correct, but I still can't love certain aspects upon myself because I have to work upon them. So the things that no one is seeing is the things that we need to work on. And I think a lot of people are forgiving themselves before they actually conquer what they needed to forgive themselves for. I believe that we need to work upon these things, and then we automatically admire ourselves for that aspect without forgiving ourselves for something that we could have fixed. Sorry, I'm not sure if that makes sense, but I believe is, wow, this quantum physics is all around us, so our vibrations are so powerful within us all that for them to be powerful without being fake in a way. We can't just forgive ourselves, right, and love ourselves. We have to love ourselves because we know that we love ourselves, and we don't forgive ourselves. We work upon the problems that no longer exist. So in that matter, we don't have to forgive ourselves, because sometimes forgiving it's putting a layer upon something. It's like medication. It's like it's putting a layer of falseness upon the world. You take these medications, you'll feel fine, the problem is still there. You forgive yourself, the problem is still there. So what it comes down to is truly understanding what is good and what is not, and working upon the things that will help this world be a better place, and then we can forgive ourselves naturally without even actually having to forgive ourselves, because we no longer need the forgiveness because we are doing the correct thing. That's it.
Wonderful. Thank you, Vicky. These things that we are dealing with personally are needed to be spoken out loud at times. Perhaps our brother Darius has mentioned before about these cycles of karma that we have always been, that we are letting go of. Thank you, Vicky.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. And we do all we need to do is just be our lovely, authentic selves that God made us, you know, and that is it. Don't forgive. Just do right, and then the forgiveness isn't necessary. Forgive. Just do right, and then the forgiveness isn't necessary.
It happens, but you know what? This is the beauty of the unseen.
It is the beauty of the unseen and the understanding of it. Reformatting, re-collaborating. That has everything to do with my Bluetooth that time. I have since corrected it. Wonderful share from our sister Vicky. Always appreciated. I do believe our brother Azrael was next. Azrael, thank you for
No
adapting.
problem. I'm here. So basically, what we're discussing is topics that we don't talk about. Is that what's the main topic? Unseen realities.
Something that is affecting you personally that no one is truly aware of, even in your own
Oh,
house.
okay. Oh, in my own. Uh, well, my thing, it's been, the curiosity of, these big things that we can sense is happening, but yet we don't see. So, I look for many clues and many answers. And, the more that I delve into it, I'm not finding rabbit holes because I'm seeing a lot of things. And, one of the factors is something that Eddie O brings up is that Tartaria. And at the event of Tartaria, where there was a great reset, a big flood, and many things unalived and such. But there was an incident where there was these orphan trains that were being hauled to many cities and many states in the days, and I'm talking about, back then in the 1800s or maybe late 1700s. I'm not quite sure exactly. I don't have too much research on it, but I do have some awareness of it. So then, as I delve into it a lot more deeper, on average, it's reported over 300,000 adults and over 800,000 teens and children are missing yearly, worldwide. And, and the most of the status that I'm referring to is in the United States itself. So we're talking about 1.25 million individuals on a yearly basis missing. Where are they going? What's going on? Is this great thing that's happening, with rumors of individuals building forts underground and such forth. The missing adolescents, are they the future orphan trains, or stuff like that? So, how do we bring awareness to a community, especially, when we do not only have adolescents, but also adults missing, a million and a quarter in the continental United States alone. How do we bring more awareness to the community regarding that? And that's something that ponders on to me, because, I feel that even though it's not a sensitive topic, because addressing the issue and bringing it to awareness is not the sensitive part. The sensitive part is, I guess, going against specific groups, be it at fault with it. So, right now we don't go to this, what these groups are at fault, but creating the awareness more or less, so that way those that have the ability to be aware of a situation where it becomes hostile, and it happens in many forms and many deceitful ways. There could be a multiple of reasons, but I start to think about this Tartaria in the event of the reset, and possibility maybe even another planet is being planted with the seeds of earth. You know what I'm saying? So, these individuals that are missing, maybe there's some space organization or something that's going on that are shifting people to Mars and stuff like that. We don't talk about exploited or missing individuals much in the community. And that's what bothers me. That's the unseen part of me, where I know and I'm aware of what's going on. But how do we address it in public without being shamed, or being accused of spreading rumors?
Maybe your observation is enough and the exposure comes from you observing. I don't know.
Agreed,
Maybe you
Leandro. This
absorbing it
is
and, bearing witness yourself that is worth something. So I don't know.
So that's something that that bothers me. But it's just like, as one individual, I don't know how I would bring it to the community. And, am I putting myself in a position of vulnerability by specific groups of individuals out this community? You know what I'm saying? And, so where does it come from? Why would I myself be intimidated by bringing such a reasonable question into a community, and not be judged by it, but be seen as, um, what do you call that stuff? I forgot what they call it, a stigma, that I shouldn't be talking about the stigma, when we can openly talk about exorcism and other stuff that, other groups can vouch and say, yeah, exorcism does arise, and we're talking about entities and demons and such like that. But what about the demon in man itself, and what are the intentions of many people just falling off the end of the earth? We can't account for them. Where are they going?
One of
we
my
often
favorite.
wonder about.
Oh man, my apologies.
Please, Darius, and then Vinny.
No, fine. I gotta work on order because I just got here. I'm working on this. So like, give me time to understand the order of things. I do understand you, the host. I apologize. I do want to apologize. But I get so excited. Y'all be saying something. Oh, man. Okay, so one of my favorite sayings is, "Never fear the man that, never fear a man that can't control the demon within them, but always respect and understand the man that does control and know the demon within. They can confront the demon within them. They can control it. They can be a part of it. They can find balance and harmony with it. However way words you want to shape it around to. But I just wanted to leave. I just wanted to add that. I do appreciate y'all. That's just so awesome.
Hello. Can I just say something that quick, please?
Go ahead, Vicky.
Okay. It has been quite hard for me this past week. I have seen some situations that wow, they knocked me so much back where I got quite confused within myself because I want to help situations, but then in the background I understand that I've got to keep my vibrations high and stuff. But in reality, I sit there and I just think, wow, my life's not that great, but at this moment in time, I am so grateful for my life. And I see these people that cannot speak up for themselves. And also it's getting stopped that anyone else can speak up for them. And I just think, oh wow, how awful would that be, being in a situation where no one can help you, and I ended up in a situation like this when I got locked up for a year. I won't get into it. And although I called out for help, no one would help me because I was in a situation where there was a group that wouldn't. So I have a little tiny experience. Well, it was quite big until I seen this other experience of how it feels to not have a voice and to not feel like you're getting saved. Wow, and everyone's saying like fear and everything feeds them. But imagine the fear of the unseen. The fear of the unseen, it is giving them enough energy for them to do anything. So I believe that we should not turn a blind eye to this. And so many people are just saying, nah, just don't ruin the vibration, don't ruin the frequency of things. And I'm like, I sat there and I've been there quite all weekend in my own thoughts, and I thought, well, surely the fear of people that can't defend themselves are so strong at this moment in time that the fear of us to get our asses together, to get a community together, to protect the people that can't, that have no one. When we start saving people, I think that would have a greater effect upon stopping the amount of fear that is giving the energy to these horror bags. And I've never played by the rules. And some of these rules, I'm starting to think maybe these rules are made up by people that don't want us to express our fears about what is going on in the world and to help the others. Maybe, just maybe, that is being programmed into people to get people to stop worrying and to stop helping people. That's just me anyway.
Thank you, Vicky. It is not just you. You're not alone. Vinny, please.
Yeah, thanks. So Azriel, so you bring up a good point, and it's something I've been faced with the past couple of weeks too. It's like, how do you bring your message right? How do you bridge that gap, right? How do you make it from like where people like here understand what we're saying, but maybe people in some other circles or other communities, maybe they kind of get it, but they don't quite get it. And how do you make that message resonate with them, right? Well, it's all about intention, right? So if you're authentic and you speak the truth is always the truth, right? It can't be faked, and it can always be heard. And if you know the truth, you can always hear the truth. So what we can do as people is just go out there and spread the message, do what we're being led to do, right? Whatever that is, right? Because if we think about it, there's a lot of people. It's the war for consciousness. What is that war? That war takes place in your head, right? There's two minds inside your head. There's the spiritual mind or the higher mind, or there's the lower mind or the carnal mind. Most people are walking around carnally minded, and that's where all the chaos and all the unbalance happens. It's balancing those two energies and being able to listen to the spiritual mind and be present so that you can see all the beauty around you and hear source, universe, whatever you want to, whatever you believe in, whatever you call it, you'll hear it, and that's where the magic happens. So that's kind of what we have to do. Just keep. We have to tell people that, listen, you don't have to believe what they've been telling you, because what they've been telling you hasn't been working. You can see it around you. Things are starting to come apart. So believe in yourself. Go within and try to stay present through the chaos. That's kind of where I think we could focus our attentions on and have the greater impact. I hope that helps.
I agree, and thank you for sharing your perspective.
Good exchange, brothers. Eddie, welcome back. It is still
Israel, how,
now.
Vinny, if I had some space and there was some seats around me in this bus or the spaceship or whatever's about to pick us up, hope we're ready. But I would definitely be like, hurry up, come sit down. So, here, come, someone else, come sit here. Come quick. I'd like on this long journey, if we still had to remain in time, I'd like to play cards and just in that observant state and just to sit with people, can anyone just sit around and enjoy each other's company? Well, yeah, we can now, I guess. I would actually go to a baseball game or something, something so non, you know, exciting. You make non-exciting so attractive. That's a horrible thing. Words, I tell you, I gotta be careful, mindful. I've been baited all day like I am in a Home Alone movie, like there's traps and like pranks on. I keep walking face first into H1, and they're funny, but they're dick. That mud flood you're talking about, I was very mindful not to walk. I'm like, I'm staying away from this with a 10-foot pole. So I'm going to say something completely different with this time I have. Vicky, I was just looking at her page because I've been friends with her. Like, we must have recognized something similar in somewhere. And I was like, oh, let me check out Vicky's page. And the first thing I clicked on was one of my big influences during this specific time in the last couple of years where things turned into higher gears. And that's Jordan Peterson, Dr. Jordan Peterson. And he comes along, all kinds of information, and his stuff all goes back to one thing. And I know Vicky knows what it is, but there's an example, and he brings up the notion of pain. How about pain? How about pain? Why is it the most real thing in the world to us? Why is pain real? It's like, this is okay. Now we have to do something. This is the pain. Is like, I got to do something now because of pain. Try arguing pain away. Try to talk it out. Try to work out the pain. Nah, it's not an emotion you can disguise. You will feel that pain. Drinking helped me get rid of every emotion except for the pain. That one always just was painful in itself. It sucks, but it's true, and it brings up nihilism, helplessness, and that's just the number one fundamental reality that seems to be the most engaging thing. And it does have so much effect is pain, and then we're stuck in that pain. There's only one thing that really can trump pain, and it is love. And when I have experienced pain on massive scales for things that really are personally, emotionally taking me to a painfully emotional place for whatever reason was converted into tears, and it was the tears like love was. I mean, I was loving. I had so much love and tears at the same time with that pain, and there was a new frequency. Those two notes, those two frequencies harmonized, and they transmute each other into a different thing. And when that pain is met with love, and it's the tears of joy or something, but it's not because I'm proud of anything. It's just that breakthrough of this is life, and it's like this is both sides at once looking back at you with two eyes too, man. It's like it's all the same, bro. It's like when and it makes you cry, and you have to break that and let yourself like have that chemical experience and that emotion of physically crying and having a chemical coming out of our body is an example of like that is a miracle. It's a miracle. It's like a statue crying. We are the same. The chemical biology and our spirituality access points that we have access to, and we know a lot about, we're aware of these things, and we can change our chemical composites, and tears are one of them. And you get there through love. And you can think of love. You can remember love. I can think of some moment. I think of my son right now when he was 4, and picture him looking around the corner. And I'll go to tears right now. Picture my dad when he was old. So I will go to tears. That place will bring that emotion back to me. So it's not as simple as trying to like put myself in a situation. When I got abducted by aliens when I was very young, I used to try to have aliens interact through me in my window, my scenario, by putting myself in a state of fear to reconnect with the vibration I was in when things happened originally. And I would make myself intentionally so scared. And I'd be standing at the window like, oh my God, it's going to happen. And then it would kind of happen. And I kind of, I shut it off myself. I'd be like, oh, but it was like a trans transcendental meditation, travel, astral projection through the space. And the portal I used was like a portal of fear. I made myself scared, but I didn't do like, boo, would scare myself or tickle myself. Can't do that. But I just felt the feeling, and then it resonated and it got louder and louder and louder within me till I was more and more scared, right? You let yourself get scared. And we are, and then it's fucking, oh my God, that's enough for my emotion. I think that did help with my disengagement of these trolls. I think some of these gremlins took a walk and they're like, we ain't messing with this guy anymore. He's no fun. I love you guys very much.
Thank you, Eddie. Pain, the greatest karmic cycle. Remember it again.
Well, thank you, Vicky, for the Jordan Peterson connection there. Likewise, in a lot of the feelings.
I give you Beth Ramsey.
Thank you for Jordan Peterson. Can I just say it? Jordan Peterson. Oh wow, he absolutely saved me. Because even though I seem a bit lost at this moment too, I was so much more lost my whole life, to be fair with you. And when I started listening to Jordan Peterson, what's amazing about Jordan Peterson is
Please be advised. Beth Ramsey, the floor is yours.
Oh, me? Oh, okay. I thought you was talking. I'm sorry. Um, well, to me, the unseen is, kind of explanatory of itself. We don't see it until we experience it. And I agree with what they're saying. Pain is what makes you experience what you cannot see. It lifts the veil off your eyes. It kind of removes the blinder. If you say, I went through a lot these past months. One thing that I didn't see was how much resentment I was holding in. And that was something I had to let go of. And that's what the unseen really is seeing those parts of yourself that, you really don't want to see, those dark parts of yourself, and coming to terms and accepting that that's part of you. That's part of who you are, and you want to be someone different. You want to be someone better. You have to want it. And a lot of us go to escapism not to feel that pain in order to see that. But if we never feel that pain, then we'll never see where we need to correct ourselves. And a lot of times, especially when it comes to emotional connections, relationships, friendships, it always takes two to reflect on each other when something goes wrong in order to grow together and fix it. So it doesn't matter what someone has done to you. Can you put that betrayal to the side in order to see where you went wrong there? Because what they did doesn't really matter. What did you do? What was your reaction to it? Did you let it bring you down, or did you let it build you up? I think that's something we're missing in humanity, is empowering each other. And then something else we're missing is the knowledge to know how to reflect. I didn't realize how much we were surface level reflecting until I kind of had to dive in myself. And I'm to the point now where I'm at the unseen. I'm to the point now where I could not tell you where it's going. I could not tell you where I'm going. I don't know. I'm to the point now where I'm okay with saying I don't know, because honestly, I don't know. I have to accept it, and I have to trust wherever it leads me, that's where I'm supposed to be. And I think that's a real part of the unseen that we just don't want to recognize or see. We don't want to let go of that control. So.
Appreciate it always, Beth. You can begin to see here why knowledge is such a threat. To how we treat each other, or how we treat ourselves. What do we do with this knowledge, this preparation skill? We can wonder what would happen, what if this, or what if that. That does no one any good. That is just as hope does and has been doing. Essentially, it is your mind that is free of the outside world. And although it is unseen, it is a power that we can grasp and comprehend. And I do not need you do not need me to justify it. We are individual thinkers, or we're not. We create our own experience. Going forward with that which is unseen, what would you like to see? My love, Fire Ash, if you would get us started.
I would like to see in truth, I would like to see people using the tools that they have inside of them, recognizing that we're not here to save anyone else, we're here to save ourselves, that we are all divine reflections. And the more we realize that and accept that and anchor that in, the more we're actually capable of creating that. The more we're able to actually co-create with the universe in that aspect. And I don't mean on just one level, you know? Like, don't live in fear. No, that's the old news. That's the old world. If it is fear that is driving you, you're not gonna make it very far. Fear is short-lived, then you have the fallout, the burnout. I'm walking in love. It's not that I don't experience fear, but I don't live in it. I live in love. I live in the new, and I recognize that I have a calling, I have a reason, I have a purpose. And no matter if anyone likes it, no matter if anyone resonates with it, I'm not afraid of what anyone else has to say. And I'd like people to realize that they're equal to that. Stand in that. Recognize that. There's not a single person that walks the face of this planet, no matter how much you love them, no matter how you see them, there is not a single being that is above you. We are all equal parts, the divine. And yeah, you're going to notice that those that are unaware and unawake, that are in the old, it's obvious. It crumbles. It has holes. You can poke through it like a weak cloud. And the truth is you're supposed to. We wouldn't all be here now in this room, if we were not supposed to be. To recognize that, seen or unseen, the divine is there in all of us. I would like for that really to be anchored in.
Thank you. Very, very well said. An anchoring in of that which is truly omnipotent. Appreciate you. Love you. Rotating with Beth. Wouldn't mind. What would you like to see?
Me. I would like to see me. That's what I've learned through this. I've learned that I'm more than what I thought. I found my self-worth. I found the value. I found my emotional boundaries and how to healthily attach them. Like, that's what I want to see. I want to see me. I hope that that would be the goal for everyone, was they just want to see the best versions of themselves.
Well said. You know, your diligence in the matter is always appreciated, and it's seen and felt by many in this community. Brother Chris, welcome back. Wouldn't mind, brother.
Yeah, so what I would like to see is already happening. It's growth, and growth is beautiful. So usually as we're going through it, we don't always perceive as it beautiful until we get past through those stages as we consider our own stages. But I see growth within myself. I see growth within the community. I see growth within the world. And it's nice. So that's what I like to see, and that's what I also do see, because typically what we seek to see is what we perceive. And I like to perceive the positive things in people, which is usually reflects on their growth, especially in reflection since the time period of when I met them in comparison to now. So there's a lot of weird energy going on through the community, but I guarantee you it'll reflect into growth. So that's all. Much love.
Very well put. Much love to you. It is currently happening, isn't it? What we want to see. That's amazing to think about. Circumstances are always changing and adapting to us as we adapt to them. As we are, brother.
I'm here.
What?
Aquí estoy. So what are exactly we're touching based on what we want to see as a change, or um, what I don't want to see? You know, I'm really confused on this one here.
Thank you,
It's
brother.
their energy.
Allow
Yes,
me
there's a lot of
to.
energy. Yes, go ahead, please. Eradicate. I can't even talk.
Something that is temporary but also permanent. Something that is unseen but also present. Something that is, as our brother Chris said, is already happening. It is a co-creation of sorts.
I think things that are temporary but also permanent. It will be um, pain, pain and confusion and stuff, because even though it's temporary, where we are witnessing, changes and many things happening throughout the world, including some instances where we are feeling pain, whether it's not a direct physical pain, but it's the emotional pain and the distress that we see, where we know it's temporary and we can go and actually transmute that energy of pain into something more positive, and we can move away from it. But that pain always remains, not in general to us, but for the next person to actually become a prey to it. So it's the awareness that there are things out there that are painful. We're falling behind in bills, and these things that become the fears. These little demons or these little viruses that we can actually give to ourselves on a temporary level. But yet, when we come to understanding that some of this is just exaggeration in our parts, so those bills that we feel that we can't get ahead of, because many people spend their freaking all day working and working and working and busting their rear ends to maintain a roof over the head, or feed themselves or feed their children and other loved ones. Yet in actuality, in a real world where everybody cares for one another, this is something that shouldn't even be our priorities. Our priorities shouldn't be worried about survival. Why are we surviving if we evolved and we're so able to create many things, a telephone that we can communicate with one another, live streaming, or even get any information that's so vital to all of us, whether it's a health issue, my tooth hurts, or I got a headache, or what am I going to wear tomorrow on a Monday? What is the typical thing? A random question that I can ask the internet and the answer is there, but yet the pain that we live through, the pain that we go through, yet it's still the same pain that comes in many other forms. It's only one pain, even though it's different factors and different degrees of it. It's only temporary when we acknowledge it and allow ourselves to be in it. But as we move away from it, that reminder is always there. Somebody else is going to fall into that same cycle. So, I even though it's temporary, I believe that all of us as a collective somehow, some way, have to transmute beyond the minimal and understand that the minimal is the emotions. It's more based on the actions and the outcome that we can actually give in order to reflect on the species of who we are, where we're supposed to be. Because so many fear factors are constantly given. Oh, worry about this, worry about fluoride, worry about so and so and so and so. Creates fear and fear and fear. And fear is just bringing chaos amongst the collective, amongst the world, and the understanding of the all, everything that exists. And I believe, that discussions like we have in here tonight are very needed for all of us. We need to communicate with one another and see where each one of us is at. Where are you? Do you need help, in one form or another, Yes, Eddie O. Eddie O is actually flashing.
I didn't mean to. That's weird. If I may, though, Vinny, if you don't mind, I actually do have something that was coming through to me. That pain is different than emotions. I think emotions, if we allow, you can allow emotion to move. It'll move through, run its course. It will dissipate, and it will be gone. It'll be not there. Pain's different. I believe it stays. It moves in. It's there. It will not just go away. It needs to be understood, transformed. It's like deeper than. It's not just a natural process. It's there now. And what we do with this, we bury it sometimes. We push that infection deeper. Can't feel it. It scabs over, but it's in there now. Now it's working on a deeper level, but it's still doing what pain does. It's parasitic almost. So energy that comes, that energy emotion that we say, and we let it run its course. So this visitor of pain is going to move in and stay there. You push it down, fester, right? It'll do its own movements and engagement with its evolutionary process with our just allowment. So we allow it to be there. We allow things to move through us. We're also allowing that pain to reside within us. And then what do? The same kind of stuff, though, observing patterns, triggers, when that pain arises and returns to you and the situation, the environment, who you're around. Because if something is bringing that out, that's something to observe particularly. and you have to face the pain, face fear. You really have to. You can't just outweight fear, right? It's like pain and fear. It's like what a thing in an
Eddie.
animal that fear is. It is not ethereal. It is a being within itself, but it can be, I guess, avoided, and it can be moved, and it still has its own space. Maybe fear doesn't need much space. It is itself in a dot and a freckle, and it's the same as it is in the whole universe. And it can be either side, depending if we're
It is
in
as
the
if
never-ending
you were
story, and we allow the
pushing.
nothing to take over. And pain is the nothing, and if we allow it to and don't do something about it, it will be everything, and pain will be, and that'll turn you, and you won't be part, and you won't engage in life, and you will have nihilism and non-belief, and you'll just be there, and it'll be a completely, and the pain will be more than, it'll take over everything, and it spreads the dark. And it's not dark or light. I hate those comments. I hate everything I say all the time. Can't wait till we just don't talk ever again. Me saying that means something today. I love it. I love this though, man. It's like this is necessary, and we are kind of ready. It's like I think the next bus is ours, guys. The next one, oh, it's ours. Ours is the next stop, guys. You know, get ready. Are you guys ready? I can look in the mirror. You girls can do it. Everybody can do it. You can get ready forever and keep looking, kind of fixing that. I can keep. I'm on Taylor. Keep twitching, and yeah, but you are. If you, we're ready. We're ready, guys. You know, we're gonna try and do what we're all individually kind of have an idea kind of individual, like, yeah, okay, so let's try and get some like collective results. I'll go foraging and come back with some sticks and berries, and like I found a nice pine cone. Well, we will get results back, and just these, I bet we'll be, as much as we put in and try and envision, like maybes, not maybes, just if we can picture it, it's gonna, like, when we're gonna be like, yeah, that worked. And then, you know, we always talk about back in the day, we're gonna manifest big, and we can do manifestations that take a 6 month plan, years plan. We can utilize this 3D while it's still here and have what we imagine and what we picture. And we are doing beautiful things by not being personal. I could disappear from myself and like work probably processes, engagements with the universe and human society on many levels of politician, money, jobs, all this kind of things, just by myself and my own enterprise, LLC, Ed, and my own Ed shell company, just be me. And I could probably have all kinds of stuff, and it would be nothing of a fulfillment. I was young, anyways, didn't matter. So it was, you know, it filled it temporarily, that cup, liquids, but you know, it was never about stuff with me. It's there, but I'm glad I never had that money or stuff, or I wasn't raised in a household where it seemed like competing with anybody. It's like we had that 1980s TV house that looked like everyone, like the average middle lower class American stereotypical daughter, brother, and parents, and a dog, and a pool, and just it. It was so generic, but it's like it was that we thought we were poor. We thought we were poor then. Like it was so confusing of being like, just this is how things are, but we're grateful to be at this point, and it was okay. You know, it was settled, and it. I don't know, man. That's lovely though. I'm so excited.
Thank you, Azrael. You know, you bring up a very good point as far as that which is mundane, that which we look down upon, these resources that we must utilize to feed us, clothe us, shelter us. These things are often overlooked. There is a balance that must be maintained or found, even. We are bridging the gap between that which is mundane and that which is divine. Truly, recognizing the randomness, these variables that we must adapt to on a daily basis, an hourly basis. It's all part of the plan for you and for me. And there's a song for that. One reality keeps us separated in pain, in doubt, in misery. Another reality keeps us together in growth, in balance, in consistency. One is temporary, as mentioned before. This is the universe that we reside in. There is a multiverse amongst us. One is permanent. And that is your understanding of God. There is a presence amongst us that appears when you beckon it. It appears when you are aware of it. It appears when you accept it. For it is everywhere, and it touches everything. And this pain that Eddie keeps bringing up to our awareness is temporary. Redemption is at hand. The harvest is already done. You and I will be inclined to do something. It will not be seen or felt. It will just happen. There's a greater power that lies within you that is still present in union of that which is divine, in your awareness of God. Thank you, Azrael. There is a balance that must be held. Vinny,
Thank you.
back to you, brother.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Mr. Innovision. Yet again, amazing job. Yet again, another spiritual roundtable, and I think we're doing great things here, talking about things. So when we're talking about the unseen here, we got to remember, right? This is all spirit. We're on a journey, right? So in this journey, we grow, right? So every day, the thing that helps me, and this is something that may help, Eddie or other people who struggle with this, because I know I did, and I hear where Eddie's at. I've been there myself, so that's why I can say this. So we're growing, and every day we grow, we get an opportunity to wake up every day, and that opportunity is a great opportunity. Why? Because everything that happened before you woke up no longer exists. So all those things that happened yesterday don't exist. The only thing that exists is the present. So as we're growing, if we hold on to these dead versions, or I like to consider them like software upgrades, right? Old versions of old updates. If we keep running those old updates with the new software, we're going to run into problems and we're going to be unbalanced. So one of the things that helps me is getting in touch with that creative side. And you don't necessarily have to be a creative person. It doesn't even have to make sense to anybody else but you. But like journaling, writing things down, or even drawing things, just anything, dancing, any of those type of things will help you release those emotions so that you're not anchored down to your past. And you can move on, and you can rise above, as it were. And I'll go into, since I said all that, I'm going to go into what I consider my vision, I guess, and it's in a poem version. So here goes. It's called A Grand New Day. From here on in, I walk away. I'm going to leave. I'm going to drop this idea which deceives. This indoctrination, all aboard this train headed to a false, pointless destination. Sit down, relax, and stare out the window as we go further down the tracks. I'm just being honest. These are the facts. So watch as we pass through the sea of man's delusion and inequities. Let it wash away all purpose and thought. You will be brought to this destination a life of devastation, all created by the dark parts of your own imagination. Eventually, your own destruction and self realization. So, end this ticket of repeating insanity. Think for yourself, connect, spread your wings, and fly free to this mental world that is powered by your own imagination. Break the chains and shackles you put on your own true potential. A life surrounded by life and divinity. Now you can see and truly understand. Break free. Close your eyes, jump into the unknown. Don't worry, you will fly high and realize what you've been shown. It's what you've always known. There is something bigger, a feeling of wanting to go home, a loss of piece of me. See, you seek that connection with the voice in your head. Some call it God, some call it you, some call it Source, some call it the universe, so many names for the same thing. It seems confusing or even created by man as some kind of curse. This voice in you is the voice in me. It's your higher mind and your key to understanding, pure spirituality, aka divinity. I refer this to as a GPS for the spirituality. That's what I said. It's never turned off or even dead. It just needs to be remembered or activated. Instead, this amazing gift is so simple, hidden. This gift is the imagination, the key to your soul's journey. We are all individual strands of countless grains of sand or individual blades of grass, growing, spreading across land. This freedom you see is as easy as being placed in the palm of your hand. Look in a mirror, visualize the reality not too far away. That day, won't it be grand? I see one big party across the land. So give yourself credit. Don't worry about societal delusions or expectations. This time I reclaim my connection and relationship with the Most High or Source. I will divorce the man people told me I was or I am. He is dead, you see. Metamorphosis and transformation has brought me back, all shiny, bright, and new. Time to sit back and enjoy my permanent vacation. With the God in me, I will transform my destination into my newfound fascination. I can't wait for the peace and the overflowing love. Can't blame me, wouldn't you? For even a peek, a glimpse, a view, a taste or a sip or magical creative stew of life of the Creator. So the time is late. We don't have many hours before the storm showers all of humanity. So believe in yourself. The God in you is screaming to help. I promise if you listen, you will head towards your inner peace and bliss and complete your mission, all while getting a spiritual hug and a kiss on your way to a brand new day. And that's where I'll land my plane with that. So just believe in yourself, man. We got this.
Well said, Vinny. Again, believing in ourselves is something we do when we wake up. Eddie, yo, you have spoken. We'll come back around for final thoughts. Aria, welcome. The floor is yours.
Having me.
Aria, the topic is what that is unseen. And we have come to a place where we would like to see something different. Would you add any thoughts of that to this co-creation?
Sorry about that. I was turning off my speaker. What was it that you said again?
We have come to a point where we are looking for an inspired word that would perhaps inspire action as well. So that which we would like to see.
Today a big message came in. I actually posted it on my TikTok. Yesterday I was astro traveling a lot, and a lot of downloads were coming in. But right now we're entering like a big vortex, like it's here already. We're all anchoring in. 5D is finally anchored in, it's set in. The 5D timelines are really beautiful. So right now everything is just playing out in the timelines in the 3D structure reality. And we're going more into a fourth density planet. So we're really ascending really fast because so much light is coming in. And right now the big message that my guidance system is giving me is that us light workers, light beings, star seeds, whatever name you want to give it, it is important right now and very vital. They said that we must let go our past versions of self. Like really learn to just to surrender, like completely, mind, body, and soul. And really do our best to practice surrendering. And whatever emotions come up, feel them, but let them go. But always come back to 0 point. Always come back to grounding yourself, to getting yourself at a good state of being, because our true state is love. It's a beautiful vibration, but it's practicing to always come back to that until you get to the point of surrender and really surrendering like our past lives. They're saying like flatline, that we need to let them go completely, that they are all beautiful because we're very multidimensional and we're living other ones right now simultaneously. But it's learning to completely let go and understand that we truly are in the hologram. We truly are in the dream and the simulation, and we're only projecting what we believe to be true anyways, meaning y'all are just projecting me. I'm your hologram. What you believe to be true, and everybody else that we're making connections with online or offline, whatever. But right now, it's all about surrender and going into this vortex and allowing your higher self, the best version of yourself, to finally take over. So you could start co-creating on purpose this time instead of on autopilot, because we really are in a game. So it's really learning mastery, meaning when something difficult seems to arise in the physical 3D reality, our job is actually to be at 0 point, to just observe the game, the movie, because that's what it is, just a movie that you're projecting because you're the co-creator. And once we get the hang of playing the game, we're going to be able to co-create big changes in the 5D structure because they're already there. Like the new earth is beautiful. It is so beautiful. You have no idea the visions I get and the different timelines that I could tap into. And it's so beautiful and amazing. But at the same time, we're multidimensional, meaning there's going to be a split. You know, there's going to be an earth where it's not great. It's all destruction and chaos still. And the people that decide not to work on themselves, not to surrender, well, you might just fall back on those timelines. But I'm pretty sure everybody here, you're anchored in the 5D. You wouldn't be in my frequency vibration if you weren't. You know what I mean? We're all vibrating here at the same frequency. We're all mirrors of each other. But yeah, that's the message. Surrender. Follow your highest excitement. Stay vibrating high. Practice that. Stay in the moment. Practice it all the time, every day, every moment, every time you can remember. Stay in the moment, because the moment is all that matters, and that's what the universe is going off on anyways. So it's learning to be vibrating at a high frequency with beautiful emotions or whatever you're imagining to co-create, because everything happens in the etheric realm and the energy realm. Everything's created there first. You must create the experience first in your mind and with your emotions to experience it in your 3D hologram. But yeah, that's it. I'm so sorry, I'm all going off.
Do not be sorry, sister.
I'm not sorry.
That is nothing to be sorry about. You are well aware of where we are. Gotcha. Love ya. That's awesome. We
Love
all
you too.
feel
Love
that.
everybody.
Yes, you are a projection of our manifestation of, and so am I to you. So is my love Ash to us, and so is Beth. We are all here projecting ourselves to this existence of nature, this world, this co-creation. We are all together. It is innovative, that mystery of your life. It is an inspiration that comes from that mystery. New ideas, that quest for freedom. We all feel it. It is time now to become it. That justice that we have always admired about ourselves. We've always given us a sense of justice that we don't talk about, we don't share. And it is not justification. It is a stance. Could be seen as a battle-ready stance, as if you're holding
I think it's
a
different than a
weapon.
mutual respect. To interject sorely, I don't mean to be rude, but my feeling says it's not.
Fire Ash, my love, the floor is yours.
I didn't quite catch the question there. I was scrolling through my pictures. Look, guys, I apologize. It's late.
What Innovision said makes me think it's also more than a mutual respect. It's like, oh, you do the same. Oh, we're in the same line of work. Oh, good for us. I respect that. It's not that either. It's so more. It's an evolution of self to each other. I think we are um, osmosis. We are blending as drops of water and whatnot. We know how to get formless enough to form together as the same thing we already were, but just more of it. It's not unique in its pattern design as a Voltron, and we make a different thing at all. It's just more of what it's just exactly what we were seeking is us. And what else are we seeking? No, that's it. Just more of the is. It's like, oh, great, very. That's it. Just what? Yep. Where is it? Everywhere. What do you mean? Is it hidden? Well, no, but it's so great, man. It's the time and the wait and everything doesn't happen at once, and the mysteries are the best movies. You know, the engagement of the process is quite interactive and quite entertaining. You know, it's not comical, but it is those real feelings. When you learn the real feelings, and it's like you do feel like you're in your own movie and you have responsibility for your life, and you really do. And that goes two ways. And you can be observant and be happy, be proud of yourself. You know, to really like it when someone else succeeds. When you do something right, do you often feel wrong? Do you not like getting stuff and feel weird with getting compliments? A lot of people don't like compliments. And I guess that translates to I don't feel worthy of having a four. Why would I need that house? Why would I have a goal so ridiculous? And then I don't know what we choose to do, but what we are choosing to do, I don't think is a word I could think of. It's
Did his phone go dead?
I don't know, maybe.
ADO is timed out. You see, I have patience. I do not have tolerance. Tolerance is of the old world. We are here respecting each other. And if that lack of respect comes from those that we hold dearest, we must uphold our boundary. If you pass judgment, you are limiting yourself. We are final. We are the beginning. And I am not confused. Fire Ash, you have the floor. final thoughts.
Copy. Yeah. So ultimately, coming forward from tonight, I just want people to recognize it's okay. We all feel it. We all sense it. We're all experiencing it in our own ways. It is okay, though. I know there's times where it's hard. I get it. I go through the old cycles. I feel it. I understand. The best thing you can do is surrender, like you've already heard tonight. Because when you feel those old emotions pop up, and you know that is literally the old. You can see through the illusion aspect of it. You know that that's not where you're at anymore. Just remember the vortex, okay? What was being described. Picture that in your head. And just picture that all the old is swirling around, okay? Don't hold on to any of it. Let it go down the drain the way it's gonna go down the drain. You're you. And if you are looking for better understanding of what is to come and what's going on, you really don't have to look that crazy far. You have amazing spiritualists in this community that talk about the happenstance of the energy shifts, from the solar flares to, the retrogrades to, the shift into Scorpio, all of that. It all has an effect. It all has a play. And the more you start to actually pay attention to what's happening in the overall energy shift, the better you can understand, okay, that's why everybody's acting this way and is feeling these things and are having these different experiences. It starts to make it more digestible so that way you can understand in the mundane the divine that is happening in every aspect. I also highly recommend, as always, for those who know me, know I recommend them. You can go to primaldisclosure.com. You can go to Paul White Gold Eagle. You can find him here on TikTok and on YouTube. He has a network of informants all over that they put together a daily update. Now, yes, by the time he puts it out, it is for the day before. But when you listen to them, they are talking about upcoming events as well. So you can kind of plan out and understand, oh, this is going to be happening. No, it doesn't always make it so much, easier per se. But I am one that fully believes the more I know, the better. So, yeah, I highly recommend inform yourself. And that, amongst reminding everyone that we are here every Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There's a group of us. We're all fam. We share and co-host this account. And we have spiritual conversation lives. It's always a roundtable discussion set up. But yeah, much love, much appreciation. It's been another amazing Sunday night. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Fire Ash. We all appreciate your words and your energy. Oh my gosh. I know we've all been through so much, and you are at the forefront of my awareness and appreciate it and love it in so many ways. Beth Ramsey, on to you with your final thoughts for tonight's discussion.
I guess all I got left is just, take that time to be vulnerable with yourself. Take the time to have that, honest accountability with yourself. We have the tools. The tools are in front of us. All we have to do is utilize them. I mean, you are the biggest tool that is there. All it is just taking the time to put it into action. So if we want to see better, we have to do better. And we have to be the examples of better. And I think that is one of the big things in our community that we do. We show people how to be better. We show people how to move past it, how to be the examples. And I love each and every one of y'all. And that that is literally all I have, is that I can do nothing but be the example for what I want to see in the world.
Thank you. Know that your example is not minute in any aspect of Univision. Greetings and welcome to the panel. You have any final thoughts for tonight's discussion? That which is unseen will come to be seen. Thank you. Brother Chris, welcome back. Final thoughts for this evening.
I'm still laughing. All right. My final thoughts for tonight. It's always a reflection on positivity. So, any unforeseen energy shifts or anything that's unforeseen, for instance, a lot of unforeseen things that shock us when we first see them, like spirits. So, for instance, that's something that you had an experience, but somebody could be with you and didn't see it per se, but maybe they had a different experience. Try to reflect everything in a positive manner. My experience with seeing spirits is they like to mimic the energy you're producing. So you can get a lot of attachment from outsource energy, depending on what energy you're producing or what I'm producing. That's been my experience. So thinking in positive manners and kind of reprogramming our mind to automatically do that allows us to have, that exchange with our surroundings, and we attract that we produce. So even if it's unforeseen to the naked eye, it's not unforeseen to all experiences. So embrace what experiences you can achieve with the unseen, and every experience applies growth. So much love, everybody.
Well spoken. Your frequency is always appreciated, Chris. I don't know if you know that, but believe me, I do. Wherever you go. Azriel. ¿Qué pasó, mi hermano?
I'm here. Thank you. Yes. First off, I want, before, I might not get a chance. I just want to thank you, Innovision, and everybody in this Spiritual Talks 369 community, and also everybody that was up here today discussing and sharing, their perspective, because I think, it's essential that all of us acknowledge the power that we all have with the interconnectedness of one another. When we come into a discussion like this with open minds, open hearts, and open arms, every interaction that we discuss, the words that we discuss, which are these perspectives, are like nudges to all of us. It shapes us. It helps us understand that these perspectives that we're getting and actually given are helping us enhance our experience and growth in the spiritual journey. And as we continue to cultivate mindfulness and self-awareness, we can better understand that what we're discussing here tonight, these unforeseen influences, we can actually utilize them to help us toward our healing and transformation. One thing that I noticed is that, and it's not only in this life tonight, but many lives, is there is a lot of individuals that have yet to come up here on these panels or even requests. Maybe it's time for those that have yet to contribute. Meaning being your truthful self and speaking, because that authentic version of yourself that has yet to speak in communities like this can be that ripple that is needed for the benefit of everybody. So I encourage everybody to embrace the unseen aspects of the spiritual journey that we experience. Both personally and as a collective, and together we can enlighten the world. The world is there, and we are the world, and together we come as one, and that's the key. I thank you for this discussion tonight and the space, and I appreciate everyone. Thank you so much.
You are welcome, and please return. I do hope to continue to receive your invitations to find time to be a parent. Sister Arya, if you would indulge us with a final
Oh, right
thought.
now I put on the message. For the past year, that song from the 80s, I think, the We Are the World, We Are the Children. That's what we are. We are like the new beginning of this evolution, of this great change in humanity with the human species. And I say evolution because in the future, it's beautiful. We're going to be more crystalline based instead of carbon based. We're going to not really eat food anymore. We're going to just absorb energy. Like our future selves, like we are the beginning of it. Like in the history of books, when they read history of our great grandchildren, they're going to read that we were the first, we were the beginning of this great change here in this beautiful earthly existence, to create really heaven on earth. And it's such a privilege to be amongst all you beautiful souls. Thank you for having me on here. It's a true honor. It really is. And I send everybody love and light. That's it.
Beautiful. That love and light will come right back to you 1,000-fold. Vinny, may this be the last time you ever change your name. Welcome back.
Yes, sorry. Well, the reason why I was changing my name, and this is, I'll give it to you, is because the message I was given was embrace who you are, right? So my first name is Vincent. That means conquering. My last name is Salvatore, means savior. So my message was to own who I am. So my name wasn't picked by mistake, so I own it. But so what we're talking about is talking about unseen forces, unseen energies, and that's all we're talking about is energy, right? And energy, we don't really see it. We can feel it, we can experience it, we can move it, but we don't really see it. Some of us do. Some of us can see the things that we others can't see, and that's great. Not everybody can, and everybody has their different gifts and their different abilities and their different things that they can do, and that's great. And that's what makes up this beautiful soup that we call the universe, right? We're all unique and special in our own unique and special ways. And that's what we're striving for, is that unity, right? And that unity is what creates that beauty. And that's what we're talking about, right? If we think about it, this live right here, this creates that energy, creates that momentum, that energy, that vision. It helps anchor in the new energy that we're anchoring in. And like the person who said, she's in the 5D in the new earth, right? We all are, right? We all made it through the hard part, which was the metamorphosis, going from that caterpillar of confusion into the butterfly that we are now. And so we all can do that. And the thing we're talking about here is words, right? We have words, and these words have the power to build or destroy. So choose your words carefully. Build people up, build your fellow man up, build everybody up around you. Instead of using words that are negative and destroy, use words that are positive and bring forth things that you want to see in your life, right? Create that reality, because at the end of the day, you're the author to your experience. So make it a good one, right? I myself experienced change because for a long time I was looking for my spiritual family. But being the author I hadn't quite gotten to that part of the story. So guess what? All you people are the people I wrote in my story to help me along my journey. So thank you for showing up in my story. And that's all I have to say, because I love each and every one of you. And this space is important, and it brings me the peace I need for the week, because my life isn't always easy, but I know on Sundays I can reset. And on Mondays, I feel light as air. So I love you, and thanks, everyone.
Ah, brother, your words are as sweet as the ocean is blue. Thank you. And of course, it is with gratitude that you are you, and here, and now. Welcome back, Brother Eddie. The floor is yours.
Oh yeah, I've been here the whole shift. Clock me in, okay? Thanks for letting me back up here to say goodbye. To feel Vinny's way of our main character and the way we treat people. So we create those, not NPC, whatever you want to call them. Everyone else, you created those characters too. So thank you for us all choosing each other. We are a pretty cool group of people. I must say we kick some super butt. So everything that is created or from within. It's all from within. It's in me. Me being me, now I'm me, and all is from within me. So then I could say all that there is what's within. So if I had anything to say to people, and it is, don't listen to people. Say whatever you want about it. Be like, observe without absorbing. Whatever. Don't observe. Don't like engage. Like, don't listen to what people say. To be nice. Don't be kind. Be kind. Don't be nice. Don't allow. Yep. I'll let you talk garbage soup in front of me or whatnot. You you, you, me. I mean, and within, that was already, here it is. This is the example of what we have. This has happened. Everything in motion has already been put in motion. So we're witnessing what's already is. This is like the blooming of the flower. This is the process. Part of the process of the actual seed is the end of the flower, is the soil again. It's all the same thing. So all from within. So we do create our story. We do create our characters, and they all went through some crazy place to end up in an opposite, like a reality that they could observe in another balanced way, and couldn't have been any other way. So we wrote pretty cool, unique origin stories, and we lived them, and we knew how to be the hero in that story because it's our story. And we found out one thing, what we can look at in patterns and observation, what's the common thread that really we can look at and don't have to feel as a resonance. As a Graham, Mr. Graham, Dr. Graham, Professor Graham over here, such a scientist, empirical evidence means things to me that I can look at and then let them do magic or whatnot. But I like to put things in order and like look at all the Legos, and then I can put the instruction and build it. Like I just have to like observe it all, and then I can like, okay, I got it. Chris had a blueprint. I'm like, let me see the blueprint earlier when we were talking on the phone. He's like, oh, it's upstairs. It's like, oh, he's like, no, it's upstairs. You know what I mean? It's like, so you can visualize it, but then once it's completed, so don't listen to people. Don't entertain your own thoughts. You know what I mean? Like these weird situations. I had such an off kilter day, not being my highest self. I'm like, oh, I'm failing at all my practices. It's like all of a sudden I'm ruining my GPA and myself. And I was like, oh, it happened again.
So I was listening to myself and inventing when there's space in between here and there, we create scenarios. And oftentimes, if you observe those scenarios, they're the most ridiculous, far-fetched, terrible, ridiculous scenarios. It's like, oh, this is happening now. It's probably on fire. Well, I'll probably never see them again. It's just your mind creates scenarios and they're oft. But that is communicating with yourself. And you listen to yourself, of course. Stop, loosen up. I talk to myself out loud for my whole life, and I've got criticized for it, and I used to have to make up excuses to it. I'm like, no, it's healthy to talk to yourself out loud and have outside verbal dialogues. Like years ago, because I would talk to myself out loud. I'm like, it's easier than just thinking quietly inside your head. Like I would tell people, you're still having that conversation inside your head. You're just not saying it out loud, right? I can have a conversation by saying at least half it out loud and answer myself quietly. It doesn't, it's okay to talk to yourself. You're you. You can be naked by yourself and not feel ashamed, right? Right. And like I said, I know it was okay. And now with the internet and this, and I can just walk around talking to myself all the time and do talk to God walking around and be authentically me. And a lot of quirks have worked out in this design of the reality that I'm in. It's like, man, I told you guys after my experience, I thought I was in a dream imagined reality of my after living part, like an epitaph to my story. Like, here's a special ending for Ed. I'm like, oh, I passed on. And this is the cool ending I get where I get to observe reptilians and tunnel systems. I'm like, wow, it's even cooler than I could have thought. And then it took some time to settle in. And now, just tonight, just right now, talking to you guys, it's like, really, wow. We're awesome storytellers, and our job is to tell this story in real time, like a theatrical play. Now, with the integrations with our gifts and like, what are we doing? What are we creating? What is our product? Like all this stuff, and it's a story. And how we're going to tell this story is going to be a new way of storytelling. When they built those buildings or the artwork or sacred, the first guy to get that something artistically was the first guy to do that. We are creating a new language, a new art form, a new relation of communication. And it's not because we're having a finishing class and we have higher expectations, just want to be better than people. God, no, we do not. We do not. That we're not. Like, what, you're spiritual so you can be better than? No. I've never met a spiritual snob. If they do, it's like the administrative or bureaucratic part of the team. You know what I mean, man? Once you get that itch and you see it, you really realize how it works. Everyone knows what feels right or wrong. Everybody knows what it feels like. So just don't just be good, man. That's it. So we want to be good, you're not in trouble, but you feel bad. You probably, because why? And ask yourself, why do I feel bad? And like, be honest with yourself. And this is for me. I lied to myself and convinced myself and tricked myself without tricking myself. All complicated, super complicated to destroy myself and not have feelings and avoid interaction, which what I thought the interaction was with that 3D world. It wasn't I hated people. I like people. I'm a people person and I enjoy company. I didn't realize how close, like if this was maybe not I can like divine path, but I probably compare him like you guys maybe would have been at the end and be like, why isn't someone standing there? I couldn't imagine my life not in this state right now. And to know how specifically shit has lined up to be part of your family, I am so all in on this. So you guys can definitely count on me, whatever we're trying to do. I guarantee you guys, I will be there. I won't be here as a post of light and like accept and no, man, I will be there. I'm ready. My son's growing up. I can move. I can I can survive. I'm ready for experience that's unlike experience, and just be like, what's going to happen? You can't go do that. That's crazy. And it's like, it's not, I'm going to do it to test myself because I want to climb a high mountain and go surf a killer wave and try it. No, I'm putting myself out there and I'm going to allow and do and observe and say, okay, let's go for at least a little vacation, universe. How do you want to roll? You want to take me with you? Take me out on a date, universe, and I will let it. And you know what? I'm gonna have a fucking probably a cool book, a story, like at least a song, poem, and it's gonna be more. It's gonna be reasons that we're there. It's awesome when you do something great and you're like, man, you guys are amazing people, and we forget it because we're us. If you ran into you the first time or something, like you'd be like, oh my god, you lose that celebrity shock being celebrities yourselves in some type of fashion. I was so gifted. Michael Jordan's not impressed every day, but even Michael Jordan's like, damn, that was good. Sometimes, right? He knows it, but he doesn't see it as much as, Michael Jordan's pretty damn good. Guy can fly. He still looks exactly the same, hasn't aged a day. He had the plan from day one. I love you guys. I land my plane.
Brother Eddie, it is with gratitude and honesty that I appreciate you.
I love you, Envision. You've taught me how to talk with feeling first, and then the words are not the explanation of the feeling. They're like how it's formed. It allows me to put it into motion, but the feeling has to. You know what I mean? It's like I'm kind of like singing along to the song. The lyrics don't matter. It's the song that's important. And you made me put that there, and it's been there since that day that I speak of. And thank you for that day of healing that I need. Like those moments, the big moments in these days lately. You guys been there that time. Like, it's amazing. Thank you. I'm so grateful to all of us and everything. Everything. I am. I feel it. I'm not saying it so I get grateful and can transform into that attitude. I feel it, and I can just be aware now. I'm like, where's that? So, oh my God, I'm so grateful, and I can observe it. I don't have to like imagine things. I just like look for it again, and it is around like that. The clouds are removed. I can see all the colors of the rainbow. So I can look at one, and there it is. Like the chakras and moving around, like Ash talks about, and how she can these observances, and now it's coming with like all invisible stuff is tangible. It's easier, anyways, and it's allowing us to do something when
May,
we're ready.
may peace be upon you, brother. Truly. This will be confusing at first.
They're going to be
But
difficult
once
decisions and difficult things to
any of
vision.
you see it, it will be clear as day. It will be clear as the sun shines. We are all traveling up this mountain. We are all gaining these vantage points of a perception that we can only share. We are all returning and gaining an awareness and experience of the knowledge of ourselves. And we are one. In the beginning, yes, it was dark. Couldn't see anything. Confusing. And everything looks so small. Really, 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 really have to focus. But now that you have learned to focus, you see that it is immense. The immensity of it. You take it all in. And you rejoice. Because you understand finally that you are not alone. I've always said that this is not a Burger King world where you can have it your way. People want an easy understanding without making the journey. But the journey is everything.
I feel
The
on top of
journey
that
is
mountain.
where
When I see that
you
view with you
learn
guys, we
to
see it.
become
What do you do?
strong. You learn to become aware of your weaknesses, where your objectives become clear, where you learn the proper criteria you must hold for relationships, the criteria you hold for yourself. This is where you gain the wisdom and the perspective, where you clarify your own intentions and you resolve your own conflicts. Where we leave behind our past, living in confusion and dominated by social forces. These obligations that will not pay your rent, will not allow you to be who you are. It is a mental environment that we have all become aware of. It is an incredible realization that not everyone can travel with you because of their own limiting belief. You cannot take everything you have with you. You cannot take all of your beliefs, your attitudes, your assumptions. Leaving that which is no longer serving you is a song that plays in my head on repeat. And it is such a beautiful song. Eventually, only living with you is essential for you. You will recognize that you are essential to your own life, to those that you truly hold dear. Understanding creation. This is the portal that we are stepping through. This is where we are going. As our brother Azrael said, yes, if you need help, ask for it. If you feel that you are given circumstances that you're unable to persevere, express it. Pay attention to your environment. I thank you for joining me in hosting this spiritual talk 369. It is not easy, but I am privileged to have your company, your awareness. We are not here to be at war with each other. We're not here to call those down that do not understand or are confused. We are here to sustain emotion. And you already know what that emotion is. It is with love, always, that I'm with you. Your host, Vision in Christ. Always.
Love you guys.
Love you too.
Love it, you all, and rest well, everybody. May tomorrow be more brighter and more enlightened. Thank you.
Love and light to everybody. May you have many miracles, little and big. Expect miracles.